SusmitaB.wmv. I am giving a workshop here at USSF, Deep Conscious Capitalism, Mindful Economic System Change Experiment. I call it experiment because I feel like the more we understand and we see things differently, and we bring new perspective and new understanding to it, things are automatically going to shift outside through education and knowledge. So I want to use knowledge as a skillful means to change the system, not through struggle, fight, and war, through wisdom and compassion. That has to include everybody, all communities, all countries, and everyone, the oppressed and oppressor, or everyone has to be engaged. I've been sponsored by Buddhist Peace Fellowship out of Oakland, California. Well, when all the wars started in the U.S., starting from Gulf War to Iraq wars and Afghanistan, I started as a peace and justice advocate. I started studying how money has been flowing to war, and the question came how we have so much money available and resources available so readily for war effort and not much for the human suffering and social injustice causes. This work has been very transformational because in a spirituality there has been a duality in spiritual and material, and I'm in my own way trying to bridge that. And the more I talk to people in communities and see that many of the struggles have the same root, and I bring my own Buddhist perspective to it. In my own way as a Buddhist, growing up in Calcutta, I have seen much poverty and suffering, and here in US I see also a lot of suffering in communities. And as a Buddhist, I try to find a way to bring wisdom and insight into the causes of social suffering and struggle. It has not made, I am very much in the initial stage. I'm just developing my own understanding about the issues. And the issue that I find has not been addressed is how our currency and banking system developed from colonial times. And I see that the currency paradigm we have is the colonial currency paradigm. So we have democracy, we have institutions, but we see the empire, we see the exploitation, we see unchecked greed, and all this aggravating the suffering. And my idea is to bring understanding in how the very idea of capital developed historically, and the banking and the fractional reserve banking and usury, how they were all tied together and causing much suffering because we do not understand, have insight into the system. I see that we need very grassroots citizens' economic literacy, I call it, and that would be educating people about how the system developed in our own mind consciousness. And if we have been throughout history struggling and fighting, but how do we leave everybody with a system of fair currency? I call fair currency as a basic human right, and that's where our all justice and peace has to be, needs to be brought upon.